The stadium was silent. 98 minutes had passed in the Africa Cup of Nations final, and the entire tournament now rested on one kick. If you love football drama, history, and real moments, subscribe to Football Magnet for more. Brahim Díaz stood alone at the penalty spot. If he scored, Morocco would be champions of Africa. If he missed, everything would change. The referee had already pointed to the spot after a long and controversial VAR review. Senegal's players were furious. Just minutes earlier, their own goal had been disallowed, and now Morocco had been handed what looked like a match-winning penalty. Tension filled the air. Diaz began his run-up. Instead of power, instead of placement, he chose something shocking, a Panenka, a soft chip straight down the middle. But Senegal's goalkeeper, Edouard Mendy, never moved. He calmly caught the ball. Just like that, the penalty was gone. The stadium exploded, not with celebration, but with disbelief. Morocco were stunned, Senegal were shocked, and African football fans across the world asked the same question: what just happened? Almost instantly, rumors began spreading. Did Brahim Díaz really miss like that under such pressure? Or did he miss on purpose? To understand why this penalty became one of the most talked about moments in AFCON history, we have to rewind just a few minutes earlier. Before the penalty, before the chaos, before the protests. This final was already burning with controversy. The match between Morocco and Senegal had been tight, tense, and emotional from the first whistle. Both teams defended fiercely, knowing one mistake could cost them the trophy. As the clock ticked into stoppage time, Senegal finally thought they had done it. The ball hit the net. Senegal celebrated. But their joy was short-lived. The goal was disallowed. Confusion spread across the pitch. Players argued, fans screamed, the pressure mounted. Then came the incident involving Brahim Díaz. Inside the penalty area, Díaz went down after contact with Senegal defender El Hadji Malick Diouf. The referee was sent to the VAR monitor. For several long minutes, he watched the replay again and again, surrounded by noise, whistles, and pressure from all directions. Finally, the decision came: penalty to Morocco. That decision pushed the match to the edge. Senegal's players lost control of their emotions. Their coach, Pape Thiaw, ordered the team off the pitch in protest. For a moment, it looked like the AFCON final would be abandoned. Players disappeared into the tunnel. Officials panicked. Africa watched in disbelief. Then one man stepped up, Sadio Mané. Instead of joining the protest, Mané chose responsibility. He walked into the dressing room. He spoke to his teammates. He reminded them that millions were watching and that African football deserved better. Television cameras showed Mané urging his teammates to return. Goalkeeper Edouard Mendy stood beside him. Slowly, Senegal came back onto the pitch. The match resumed after nearly 16 minutes of chaos, and that's when Brahim Díaz took the penalty, the moment that started this story. After Mendy caught the Panenka, the match somehow continued. The score was still 0-0, but mentally everything had changed. Morocco looked shaken. Senegal looked alive again. The rumors grew louder. Some fans claimed Díaz missed intentionally, a silent protest or a sign of fair play after the controversial decision. Others said it was arrogance, pressure, or simply a terrible choice in the biggest moment of his career. No proof exists, only debate. What we do know is this: that missed penalty gave Senegal a second life. The match went into extra time, and Senegal took control. Then came the decisive moment. In extra time, Papa Gueye unleashed a powerful strike. The ball hit the net. This time, no VAR, no protests, no controversy, just a goal. Senegal were in front. When the final whistle blew, Senegal were champions of Africa once again. But the story of this final was never just about the goal. It was about chaos, controversy, and leadership. Sadio Mané lifted the AFCON trophy for the second time in his career, possibly for the last time. But his greatest moment did not come from scoring. It came from saving the match itself. Mané later said football must always protect its image, that walking away would have damaged African football far more than losing a final. Across the world, fans and former players praised him as a true ambassador of the game. As for Brahim Díaz, his penalty will be replayed for years. Was it courage? Was it pressure? Was it fair play?